What's up, y'all? It's Vertical Jones. You're now tuned to Vertical Jones TV. A lot of people is wondering where Vertical Jones came from. Well, I'm gonna take you back for a minute. I started off, doing music in around like '91, following a large professor and people like Black Moon. At the time, I was using my government name, which is Mike Jones. Yeah, I know. I did my thing throughout the years, throughout the '90s, and then made it to the late '90s to the 2000, and the guy Mike Jones came out. I was invited to a conference in LA, and at that moment, it was a lot of confusion about the two. Mike Jones from Houston and Mike Jones from Jersey. I had to kind of make a decision, what I was going to do. Was I was going to go ride with this situation. I was going to go on. I was going to battle Mike Jones. I was going to take my name and my claim to fame. Or was I going to change my name? I decided to change my name because I didn't want to be compared to anybody. So I changed up to Choir Boy because in my church background, I played the organ, the drums in the church. My mother and father are ministers, and also The Five Heartbeats was my favorite movie. So I changed to Choir Boy. It worked. The name was catchy. Everybody caught it. I started doing my thing. And what happened, I got kind of pigeonholed into being this socially conscious, clean-cut rapper that was going to save hip-hop. That was part of my music, was to give a message, but that wasn't the whole picture. I felt like a lot of me was being left out. So now I'm changing my name again. Vertical Jones. Vertical to me means upward progression, or moving forward, or moving upward. And Jones, which is my last name, and after the death of my grandmother that just passed about 3 weeks ago, my last name means everything to me. So being able to use my last name and being able to represent something that's not religious, but something that's progressive, something that means, getting ahead in a general sense, is something that's beautiful to me. So that's, Vertical Jones. It's outward progression, and it's Jones, which is my heritage. So, you can't get much better than that. Another reason for changing my name to Vertical Jones is so I can be free creatively. You know what I mean? A lot of people may think that at the time I was like a socially conscious rapper, and everybody knew that. All the websites, the Unsigned Hype, the Hip Hop DX, the allhiphop.com. You go online, you go to Google, you put in Choir Boy, you see all type of stuff like that. But what people don't know is I'm a producer, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a musician, and I'm an MC. I'm an audio engineer. I even do some of my graphic work. So, so the goal of my music is just to be able to be free, to be able to mix genres. Therefore, I call my music urban alternative music, which is in essence a hybrid theory, which is my mixtape that's coming out soon. It's just a mixing of genres, and maybe at the time alternative type of feel, and to have the bottom or the thump of hip hop music, or it may be the improvisation of jazz and the bounce from something else. You know what I mean? My music is just a mix of a lot of different things. I can compare it to flying. You flying a plane for the first time. You get on the plane, and there's this fear. The fear is the fear of flying. It's the fear of the unexpected. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what's about to happen. Oh my God, I don't know. And then in that same moment, it's a certain level of excitement, and the excitement is, I don't know what's about to happen. I'm about to fly for the first time. This is crazy. I'm about to go somewhere I've never been. And then the fear and then excitement together is the turbulence when you're landing. Just like, okay, you're in, and you kind of down for whatever. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you're excited, you're afraid, and that's the turbulence. So influences, man. Early on, you talking Winans, Commission. I think that all time, I think Stevie Wonder is the greatest artist that ever lived. And right now, my favorite artist is Sufjan Stevens. He's a folk singer out of Michigan. Coldplay obviously is a big influence. U2, Yo-Yo Ma, David Axelrod, which are composers. Lonnie Liston Smith, Timbaland, big, huge. Tim is the man. So that's just a few. Bjork, because she's just shout out. What's Going On is like my favorite album of all time. Jay-Z or Clips or Nas, like John Coltrane, Ellis Marsalis. I go in. So I don't want people to remember me as a gift, man. Somebody that I didn't understand him at times, but wow, he was a gift. I think of talent as something that I did. I worked every day and did this, and it's kind of like a thing that you use to pump yourself up. But a gift is more like, I didn't deserve to have this gift, Y'all didn't deserve me, and I definitely didn't deserve you. So kind of like, you know, this guy is just a gift. This guy had something that nobody else had. And the way he brought it with integrity, and he brought it with honesty. And dude was dope. Last thing I want to say two things. The first thing I want to say is, I have a question for you. And the question is, how many failures is out there? They say failure is the day you meet the person that you could have been. You know, and me going forward and trying to progress and do my thing, I never want to meet the person that I'm supposed to be, you know, before it's time. So, signing off, I also want to say the greatest thing in the world is for a man to know how to be himself and to be satisfied with that. Signing off, Vertical Jones, and you watching Vertical Jones TV. What else I'm going to say? Up.